Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 11 starts now.
A nurse run down in Livonia last night trying to rescue a patient who had run into the middle of the road. That 42-year-old nurse would not survive her injuries. It tops our news tonight at 11. I'm Devin Skillian.
I'm Kimberly Gill. Tonight, her friends and fellow nurses are heartbroken over what happened right outside the Majestic Care nursing home. Mara McDonald live in Livonia tonight. Mara, the police are saying this happened last night about 9:40.
That's right, Kimberly, and neighbors who were out here watching this whole thing go down in real time say that it was absolute chaos in the middle of 5 Mile Road, to the point that before Pebbles Jones was ever hit out here, they had already started calling 911. Police marked where the crash happened. They say an elderly patient ran out of the Majestic Care nursing home and right into the middle of the road where she laid down. This neighbor who was out for a jog, who doesn't want to be identified, saw it all happen.
She was laying on 5 miles saying some random crazy stuff.
Nurse Latrice Jones, who goes by Pebbles, was trying to get her out of the road along with other staff. They had a wheelchair out there. They'd gotten the patient into it, but traffic just wasn't stopping.
Car came, ended up hitting one of the employees.
Did she go flying?
Yeah, it was a bad accident for sure. She was hit at a decent speed. The car was probably going at least 45, speeding limit 45 down here.
Jones ended up getting hit and thrown when an 80-year-old driver, trying to avoid the wheelchair, hit her and then hit 2 other cars. Jones was pronounced dead at the hospital. Friends like Sarah Howard, who has known Latrice Jones for years, is just brokenhearted about this, not just for what has happened to her, but her 3 children. She has a newborn, a 7-year-old, and an 18-year-old.
She's such a compassionate person. And I mean, that's what nurses do. They're always concerned about their patients. I just never thought it would be her because, she's a mother of 3 kids. She works really hard to support her family. Her kids adore her. She has a brand new baby. And to my understanding, she wasn't even supposed to work this particular weekend. She just picked up the shift to do it. And she was actually going on break. And one of the aide called her to ask her, would she help out with this patient? And I mean, for her to lose her life, she just turned 42. She just had a birthday a few weeks ago.
Back here live, you can see how hard friends and family are taking this. I asked Sarah, do they have a GoFundMe set up for these children yet? She told me that it's in process, but right now, her extended family is just flabbergasted by what's happened here. No one's been able to handle that, but the reality is those children are now all motherless. We're live in Livonia tonight. I'm Mara McDonald, Local 4.
3 children, including a newborn. Just absolutely heartbreaking, Mara. We appreciate your report tonight.
Our other top story tonight, a fisherman rescued from the Detroit River after he fell in at Riverside Park. It came just a week after a man, of course, fell 140 feet from the Ambassador Bridge where he was working, and the same company that rescued him rescued the fisherman on Saturday. Pamela Osborne live to talk about yet another rescue on the river. Pam.
Devin, people fall into the Detroit River more often than you would think. So often, they actually train for these types of things in the event that they happen. Sam Buchanan, he was involved in that rescue from last week where the worker fell off the Ambassador Bridge. And this one, he took us out on the river today to talk about what he normally does during a typical shift, and also to talk about Saturday when his coffee break was interrupted by someone who needed help.
They thought they could just go swimming there, and so they jumped in, and they had no clothes on.
In his 38 years with J.W. Westcott Company,
and his jet ski went down the river, and we went and got his jet ski for him.
Captain Sam Buchanan has seen a lot. These mailboats and their crew do a lot more than make pizza deliveries. They're often called upon to save lives. Days after they rescued the worker who you see here falling 140 feet from the Ambassador Bridge, they helped get another man to shore.
Yeah, he was hanging on to a piece of rebar or something that was coming out of the dock.
Buchanan took us to the exact spot along the south end of the pier where the fisherman fell over and into the river.
He said that he would look down to check his line, and then he just tumbled into the river.
It was a dangerous situation. The man was near the seawall where Buchanan says he could have easily become stuck underneath it.
He was doing okay dog paddling in the river, but you see how choppy it is here right now? It was just like that, but it was from the small boat traffic.
They used a ring buoy and a ladder to get him on board.
But he was fine. He was fine.
Buchanan says they practice for rescues like these. He's done the real thing more than he can count. He doesn't think much of it, except that's what you're supposed to do when someone's in trouble.
You'll see these videos where somebody's in trouble and there's 100 people standing around and nobody's stepping in. And I just couldn't ever be that person. You gotta help.
So I actually asked Sam over the years, how many people do you think you've pulled out of the Detroit River? He really has no idea. It has simply been that many people. J.W. Westcott getting ready to celebrate its 150th anniversary. He was doing some research on the company's history, found a news article dating back to the early 1900s that describe yet another rescue taking place on the Detroit River by the pilots of these mailboats. So certainly continuing a legacy here in a lot of different ways. Reporting live in Detroit, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
That says a lot that they gave up keeping count. Really something. All right, Pamela.
All right, take a look at a video from our downtown sky cam. Heavy rain moved into the metro area this evening. It led to some flooding and even some damage. Tim Pamplin took a tour around town to get a look at the aftermath.
Well, the storms have cleared out for this evening. We've got more on tap for the rest of the week. Earlier this evening around the dinner hour, the heavens opened up, the winds were howling, and the rain came in buckets. This was the scene along I-96 near Greenfield, heading out of town. And when it was all said and done, well, we ended up with scenes like this outside the Detroit Police Department's 2nd precinct from Drone 4. No way in or out of the precinct this evening until they could get this unclogged. Again, a massive amount of rain in a very short amount of time. Up at the Grand River Car Wash and Oil Change, well, they had a different story. The high winds came blowing through. Let's take a look at their surveillance cameras, shall we? Here we go. The wind's blowing down Grand River Avenue here. That sign doesn't have long for this world. There it goes. Multiple streets flooded out. This was Schoolcraft near Greenfield. That work van and that Chrysler 300 stranded. We'll end the story up in Drone 4. I hear some of the heavier storms are predicted for later this week. Goodness gracious me, what are we in for? That is the scene around town tonight with a night cam. Tim Pamplin, Local 4.
Goodness gracious, is right. Came down pretty quickly and moved right out.
But classic, locally heavy, and some places
didn't see anything.
What's the fuss, right, Kim?
Well, and I think some people might be confused. Why didn't we have any severe, thunderstorm warnings when this went through? Well, it's because the National Weather Service has criteria that has to be met in order to issue a severe thunderstorm warning, and these were just below that. Didn't have the wind high enough and didn't have hail and some other things needed to meet that criteria, but they were right there. And quick, heavy rain and isolated. Not everyone got it. Now, Wednesday's a different story. We expect more widespread severe weather, stronger thunderstorms. We're in a marginal risk. That's a level 1 across much of Metro Detroit up into the thumb, and then a level 2, which is slight, south of I-94 down to Monroe, Adrian, and including parts of Ann Arbor. Severe threats for Wednesday. High winds, that's going to be the primary threat, over 60 miles per hour. Hail, flooding, an isolated chance of a tornado, pretty low, but wind and hail will once again be our 2 top threats for this event. And here's some of the criteria needed in order to become a severe thunderstorm. The first is that wind gust over 60 miles per hour. Again, the storms tonight didn't quite meet that criteria, but as you saw, did cause some problems. So I'm going to time out the rain for Wednesday and talk more about air quality and also temps in the 90s. Lots to talk about in the forecast.
Okay, Kim. New at 11, a woman seeking custody to a child after the end of a same-sex relationship has won a big decision from the Michigan Supreme Court. Carrie Pueblo and Rachel Haas broke up before same-sex marriage became legal in 2015. But Pueblo says they would have been married when Haas gave birth to a boy in 2008. That status could have given Pueblo a former role in the child's life, even if the marriage had ended. The Supreme Court says Pueblo can return to a county court and argue for parental rights. Pueblo and Haas had raised the boy together even after their relationship ended. Happening tomorrow, City Council members will discuss a proposal that could rename Hart Plaza.
Councilmember Mary Waters submitting a resolution to rename the 14-acre plaza Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. Plaza. Hart Plaza is currently named after the late U.S. Senator and former Michigan Lieutenant Governor Philip Hart. Last June, the Detroit NAACP helped reveal, of course, the statue of Dr. King on Hart Plaza. And today we found reaction from some Detroiters rather mixed on the idea.
Nothing against, MLK at all, but it feels like it belongs in Detroit. Keep it Hart.
As far as changing the name, I think you're going to have a lot of people of all groups that might feel some type of way about it.
Council members are going to discuss referring the renaming proposal to the Neighborhood and Community Service Standing Committee. We'll let you know. Twitter rebranding itself to X. Not the only big tech announcement today.
What we're learning about the new feature coming to a popular social media app. And it's a story that drew national attention. A woman claiming she was kidnapped after trying to rescue a baby on the side of the road. Tonight, why police say it was all a hoax.
Also, disturbing discovery in Brownstown Township. Dozens of cats rescued by animal control. See if you can help find them a new home when we come back.
Coming up on Local 4 News Morning, Barbie steps into a real-world problem.
My heels are on the ground.
Turns out flat feet may be something to scream about. We're going to show you the other problems it can cause and when less is more. It's all Italian for this week's Tasty Tuesday. See you then.
Local 4 News, everything you need to get up and go tomorrow from 4:30 to 8.